say that it feels right.
Born and raised in Iran, Michelle Jabari was the seventh of 10 children and the only one in her family with a deep interest in God. Even so, her religion taught her to fear Him.
It's like a monster sitting with the stick in his head, and he's waiting for you to move and to do something wrong. There you go, punishment comes. So anything you do out of fear. Even prayer, I was praying because I had to pray.
As a teenager, Michelle became disillusioned with Islam and stopped practicing her religion. At 19, she came to the U.S. for an arranged marriage. She had a son but was mistreated by her husband and left. When her son was a toddler, he became deathly ill. Alone and without money, a job or insurance, Michelle had nowhere to turn except back to her Islamic faith.
I knew he's going to die that day for some reason. Out of desperation, I prepared myself to pray, and I started praying and recite the Quran, basically what I was taught how to pray in Islamic way.
After repeating prayers in Arabic that she didn't understand, Michelle then cried out to God personally in her own language of Farsi.
I called off the God of creation, God of universe who created me. I said, I'm in desperate need. I need you to save my child. I was sitting watching him die. He had a hard time breathing. He had such a fever, high fever. As I was sitting around 5 in the morning, I fell asleep. So I started having a dream. And in the dream, I saw my son is in my arm. He's sick. In the dream also, he's sick. And in my arm, as I was watching him, I was looking for some place to get help. Anybody, and nothing. There was nothing. It was a sandy hill, like you see the desert. And he died in my arm. And when he died, my whole being cried out in Jesus' name, which I never been taught. I never thought about Jesus. So as I cried out to His name, I'm screaming in His name. I saw a man with the long robe, long hair, beautiful old man. He comes behind the sands. He came closer to me, and then he put one of his hand on my shoulder. His other hand, he went like this to my son's face. And as he put his hand to his face, in the dream, my son woke up. He's like, he was okay. He came back to life. And I woke up, and then my son woke up with me. And he woke up, he asked for food, which is he haven't had it for years. Fever was gone. It felt like it seemed like this kid never was sick.
Though she had called out to Jesus and witnessed His healing of her son, Michelle knew nothing about Christianity. But when she accepted an invitation to an Iranian church, she began reading the Bible for the first time.
So I get fascinated with Jesus' character. He became my hero. To this day, when I read Jesus and the adulteress, I always cry. Every time I read that story, I cry. It's so amazing. This man's supposed to be a prophet of God, religious man, and yet how he treats the adulteress and knowing how he loves women.
When a friend shared the gospel with her, Michelle was overjoyed.
I said, this is too good to be true. I thought I could be Christian, but I still have to work my way to heaven, to God. I said, how can that possible? So we prayed a lot, and she explained more in deep. And as I said, I was rejoicing. This was too good to be true. I never heard such a thing. So who could reject that? He paid it all, take it.
Since accepting Christ, like Mary Magdalene, Michelle is living a transformed life.
I'm trying to reach out to Muslims because I know where I was before, the darkness. And there's no hope in there. There is depression in that religion. There's no hope. And I know when you come to know the Lord, we're not free from troubles in life, but there is a joy the world cannot give us, and the joy in the Lord. So I know I've been transformed. because of the life I'm living and the desires I have to share this God with others, to say, come and taste the loving God.
Say that it feels right.